Well, all right, guys, we got to get into it. Today we're gonna be looking at a clip from Corey Holcomb, and one of the things that I like to do, and I think is important, is I don't just believe on dumping on people just to dump on people. I believe, you know, unlike a lot of other content creators, I believe that it's actually important to take lessons and actually understand and dissect from this and from these situations. And one of the things that I think is an important takeaway is that Corey Holcomb 100% represents everything that is wrong with Black culture. And I'm just going to give you an example of one example of why I say that. Because Corey Holcomb is a guy who gets on his platform, and we're all entitled to talk, and we're all entitled to have our voice and our opinions, right? But Corey Holcomb is not as smart as he thinks he is. And when I say that, I mean, one of his biggest issues is that he talks too much. He talks too much, and he's not saying much. But when he is saying, if you really listen to it, it's either hypocritical, inconsistent at best, or it's just downright dirtbag behavior. And what I mean, we know he's a dirtbag because one, he's talking about a 17-year-old girl, and the things that he was saying were just egregious. But it doesn't stop there. And apparently, if you do a little bit of digging, not much, you do a little bit of digging, you know that this is just who he is. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
Oh, listen to me, man. If a woman is of legal age, and what is the legal age out here in America? Because I think America has the longest wait until they become women considered under the law. I think it's 18, am I right?
Right.
In other countries, it's 13. In some countries, it's 15.
Montenegro and Portugal, the age of consent is 14.
That's what I'm telling you. When I was in Iceland, you don't have to be no 18. I think it was 13, maybe 14.
Yeah.
That's a grunt. The vagina been on this planet.
One thing I'm gonna say is, anytime we get into a conversation about age of consent and anything of that nature, you already touching on a touchy subject. It's dicey. It's dicey. A lot of people aren't even mature enough to have these conversations. So one, it's risky for you even to put yourself in the position in the first place. One, not very smart.
I think it was 13, maybe 14.
Yeah.
That's a grunt.
And when I say that, I don't mean it's not smart to have the conversation, because these conversations need to be had. But the problem is, if you aren't at a level intellectually to be able to have that conversation, maybe you shouldn't be having a conversation, is what I'm trying to say, on a public forum.
Vagina been on this planet 14 years. I've said this before on the show also. Do you know if a woman 16 years old gives you a baby, that is going to be 16, 17, 18, 19. That is going to be one of the healthiest babies possible.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in life. That's not true. That's not true. Now, look, look, if we're going to talk real, let's talk real. We know that up until modern history, fairly recently, it was not uncommon for women to start marrying and giving birth the minute that they hit puberty, right? Understand that. Now, the problem with these people that love to say that logic is that what you're not taking into account is that women also had the highest mortality rate. They were dying. So yes, a woman, just because a girl is developed and able to conceive, doesn't mean the rest of her body is developed enough to be able to handle the trauma and the pressure that comes with childbirth. That's a fact. That's a fact. And it's not necessarily true that just because a chick is younger when she has kids, that she won't have kids that have issues. You know how many people are autistic? You know how many people on the spectrum? You know how many people are just have these ADD and all this, ignorant.
Right.
Well,
At that age, they've been on the planet long enough. They're in their prime developmental wise to create a life. But you're taught in America something different.
Those eggs are buoyant. You could.
And that's actually not true. If we really want to talk about it, technically the prime would be closer between 22 and about 26 or 27. That would be the ideal time, if we really be honest.
Dribble them eggs. These motherfuckers, they got bounce back. Yeah.
I'm saying, like, I try. You can't even imagine what it's.
And Craig just say the wildest stuff. He say the wildest stuff. He almost as bad of a crash dummy as Corey is.
It's like to have paper out here in this world. You can fuck everybody. So when you say he ain't got no business, I know that's a motherfucker ain't never had no money. Mm-hmm. That motherfucker ain't never had no money. See, let me tell you something. I don't really go after super young girls because I really don't prefer it necessarily. But I don't think it's immoral if you 50, 60, 70 with enough money to fuck bitches that's young. It ain't immoral. It ain't immoral. It's the American way. If you have...
I don't understand why people say that. That's young. Why say that? Just say legal. People know what they be saying. People know the words that they're choosing to say and what they're choosing not to say. Why is it so hard to say women that are legal? It's easy to say, look, I'm 31 years old. I would say legal. Legal. I wouldn't be like, oh, I want young chicks. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe that is the norm because I noticed that a lot of these 5150 people, they ride his nuts. They do.
Money, you can do things.
Go.
Somebody say Corey just like young girls, so he making excuses. That ain't true. I really don't have young girls around me. I don't really have young girls around me. Young girls are not. I don't chase young girls. Now, have I seen some fine ass young girls? Boy, let me tell you something. Go up into one of these college campuses and see how they dress and walk and talk.
Yeah.
You're gonna see some shit that make your mouth go, oh my God.
But other countries, I'm just saying, in America, most people only know what they know in America, but I've been to other countries, and in Iceland, I think the legal age to get with a girl is 13 years old.
Oh, wow.
Right, it blows people's mind when they hear it. But in Iceland, I'll tell you, it's not.
And just to point out, look, people talk about, oh, it's weird and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, it's a lot of stuff people do is weird. What matters is legal. That's what I'm worried about. It matters for a reason. If she under 18, no go, buddy. That's why I say people aren't mature enough to have this conversation because he's right, number one, that the age is different. So if you're only going by what the age is, then it would change. It would change because some states in America, 16. But the logic on the opposite spectrum is the brain developmental stage, right? But if we're going off of that, then the age of consent should really be 25. Do with that what thou wilt.
He gonna move. He gonna try to get extradited.
He's a normal guy in Iceland. I went to Iceland, and you just can't offer him money and gifts. And I thought that was so unfair that you couldn't give him nothing after you was done with him.
This dude crazy. I'm not going to Iceland. So I assume you've been to Iceland and you took advantage of the laws. Is that what you're saying?
I had a great time in Iceland.
Wait, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go.
You feel the way you feel because Master taught you the
That's crazy.
way he taught you. But if you ever leave out the United States of America, you will find out bitches is fair game at all these ages that motherfuckers is talking about right now. A bitch that's been on this earth 15, 16 years
is ready to
is
fuck.
dick ready.
Well, that doesn't make it okay. What the
We're
hell
not
are
saying
y'all
it's
talking
okay.
about?
Why do you need to say that? I don't get, like, that's what I mean. What is the need to say this? What is the need to say this? I don't understand it. It's like, maybe he's being intentionally inflammatory, but at the same time, he said he had a good time in Iceland. Can't give them nothing because it's trafficking, right? Yeah. This is crazy. Why do you need to say that 15 and 16-year-old girls are fair game? It's weird, man.
I'm not saying it's okay.
Well, please clarify.
But a lot of these women are choosing.
I am clarifying. I'm saying in America, you are limited to think that you gotta wait for a hoe to be 18 for it to be something that's right in your mind. But do the research on these other countries and find out when grown niggas can put grown dick in holes. You'll find out.
The problem is, what are you saying? Like, and I'm saying this because I've been on that side of the spectrum where you might think you're pointing out an obvious, but the difference is, like, what's the purpose? Like, if we're having the conversation for intellectual benefit, but what is the purpose of pointing out that 15 and 16-year-old girls can be, you know what I mean? Because I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. I'm all for intellectual debates, but this isn't an intellectual debate. This is him.
Some real shit.
I ain't taking up for this nigga.
Nah,
I'm just saying, a hoe get peed on.
It's some shit nobody like to say. Once young girls are in high school and their bodies are developed a certain way, it look good. Certain shit. And if you over 25 and you fucking with girls that's like in high school or younger, you off balance in this motherfucker, my nigga. You off balance, because them girls are not mentally developed to help you. They are physically developed for you to get off with a body that ain't fucked up. And I've said this before on the show, D. A woman who is 16 can give you a healthy ass baby. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That woman is like at a point in her life where she is ripe.
Again, one, that's not really a woman, but two, that's not true. That's actually just not true. It's not true. It's not true. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people are just ignorant, but I don't know. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comment section, because this guy is wild. I'm going to be honest. I'm speechless. Let these people talk. I said before that there's obviously a reason why Corey is so obsessed with Backdooria and all that stuff, because something going on wrong with him. I'm not accusing him of being a PDF. I'm not accusing that and anything like that. I'm just saying, bro, this is a bad look. And if you didn't say it, they wouldn't be able to use it against you.